Hey guys, I'm back with another video, and yes, so we just have a little hodgepodge haul today, mainly because I wanted to talk about Forever Red, which I finally found this weekend, so here we have that. A few other knickknacks, a reward redemption, I found a Nest candle at Nordstrom Rack, and we'll just sit down and talk about it. So yeah, Forever Red 3-wick, here it is, finally. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we finally have a 3-wick of this. I'm like super jazzed to light this up and see how it does, but can we talk about that cheap ass label? I mean, like, what? And just a plain silver lid. This is indeed $24.95, and that's what that looks like. Yeah, like, I have to imagine the volume that Bath & Body Works does, the price difference between doing a full shrink wrap versus just a sticker label is probably so negligible at the quantity and volume that they do and whatever their profit margins are, that it's just crazy that they still decide to do just like a plain sticker label for something that like could easily be so much juicier and just like the plain white wax on it. And so when I first saw this hit the social media, I thought, okay, well, maybe it's just a Candle Day release, because let us take a moment to reminisce about the beauty that was this very plain square label from Dahlia, which, oh my god, I mean, this could have been so much juicier too, right? Plain silver lid, just, I mean, that beautiful. They have like a Dahlia perfume box that utilized that entire pattern that they could have easily put on this and like shove a gold lid on it and call it a day. I think I actually mocked it up on my Instagram account last year when it first came out. And so because it followed that very cheap format that Dahlia had, I was like, well, maybe this is a Candle Day release, but I don't think it is. I think word on the street is that it's supposed to come out much sooner than that, and potentially alongside the $10.95 candle sale that we might be getting next weekend. I think they were saying maybe it was that. And so I was like, okay, well, that's not a Candle Day release. And then you start thinking, well, okay, like, is it maybe like an actual concerted effort to designate some candles as a cheap sticker label in white wax because it's just like a limited quick release, like a Candle Day release, or just a promo release, rather than like, let's say, I don't know, Gingham Glow or whatever that's going to be out for an entire season because it's their single fragrance launch that they want to promote. So they want to kind of like upgrade or elevate this to a proper, you know, SFL quality packaging, while this is just a quick, like, you know, quick hit. So they're just gonna put it out there, it gets sold off, and then it's the end of it, so they don't need to invest in it. And so, like, it's either like a status thing, or maybe indeed like they really just don't want to pay the extra few cents, or what I don't really know what the actual money is on it. I don't know how much it actually costs more to do a sticker label versus a wrap, but you would think at the volume Bath & Body Works does, it probably isn't too much. But yeah, so it's like, is it a money thing or is it a status thing? Like, I really don't know. Like, this could have been so much juicier with, you know, a full like red wrap on it, or even a painted glass jar or something that was red, and then like this was a gold lid on it. I mean, there's just, the possibilities are endless, right? And especially because Forever Red, if you guys remember, oh my god, and that's why I was so excited about this candle, was because this is like an old scent at this point, and I still think like, oh, Forever Red, that just came out a few years ago, right? No, it was actually 2012, which is 12 years ago at this point, which is crazy. But back in 2012, oh my god, my early Bath & Body Works days and my early YouTubing days, right? Was it really 2012? But let's see, I was on YouTube starting 2012, right? Was that what it was? Yeah. Well, in any case, yeah, so that must have been, I guess it was like the very first year that was on it. And so yeah, 12 years ago, it came out, and oh my god, the marketing on it was just absolutely insane. They like made it out to be like the most luxurious fragrance that Bath & Body Works ever put out. Like, you know, videos on it. I mean, just the full hookup, and the marketing on it was what was so fun about it, because it made it to be all luxurious. It was the first time they did like this like square container for the shower gel. The perfume had like this big ass like plastic like red bow on it. I mean, it really got the hookup. And then so it was like sad to see when it got demoted down to just regular signature launch and a regular bottle and a regular label in like 2018 for Black Friday or something. They re-released it. And it was like sad to see that. So I guess having seen it from the 2012 release as being like the most rare, you know, luxurious perfume Bath & Body Works has put out, there was like this 7-ounce candle that came boxed to be all like luxurious, like a luxury candle, and it was like in a red glass. I think Little Balladeer did a review on it, and she was saying it was a single wick, so it was like unscented or whatever, and we were just like, why couldn't we get a 3-wick? And then, oh my god, remember Forever Midnight? Oh my god, Forever Midnight, and there was Midnight for Men, and those got these like big ass 18-ounce like metallic jar, like fancy like flip like lid box setups on it. I mean, yeah, but any case, so Forever Red, Forever Midnight, all of that had like a very storied history of being like a luxurious fragrance, and it had like all the packaging and all the marketing behind it, and it was just like, wow. And then so now to fast forward 12 years and to see it just like in such a just lackluster label of just this red sticker and white wax and a silver lid and $24.95, it just, the disrespect to Forever Red is just like shedding a tear for how like this is true, like the demotion. But still an upgrade in some ways that we now have it in a 3-wick. So I'm just being obviously a little bit dramatic. But yeah, it's just, if you were a fan during the 2012 era, like Forever Red was really like just all the rage. So yeah, any case, so we have that here. Okay, now that's out of the way. Fiery pomegranate, red peony, rich vanilla rum, and oak wood. And oh my god, remember there was a Forever Red like flanker or something that was like Forever Red vanilla rum or something, and it was like Forever Red that was supposed to be more heavy on the vanilla and the rum or something like that. Oh my god, all the memories. But yeah, so fiery pomegranate, red peony, rich vanilla rum, and oak wood. Just the white wax. I mean, Forever Red, shouldn't it also have like red wax maybe? I don't know. Yeah, it's a little bit sad. It's like, you did Forever Red dirty. But any case, I'm still very, very, very happy and grateful that it's actually out in a 3-wick. So I did pick up one and it was ringing up, so we'll see how it does. But yes, I mean, it smells beautiful, gorgeous, wow. I mean, this takes me back to 2012. There's like this velvety, smooth, like vanilla rum action in there. It's not overly boozy, but it's a vanilla that's not as like light-hearted and sweetsy and cutesy and gourmand as you would get from like, you know, Vanilla Bean Marshmallow or Buttercream Icing or some other like Vanilla Bean Noel. You know, it's like not a gourmand, fluffy, cute, light-hearted vanilla. It's like this deeper, darker, rich vanilla that has like this, I guess because it's pomegranate, it has like this sort of like red, juicy fruit component to it that's quite nice. And of course, it is very much like a department store type of perfume fragrance. It has that luxurious sort of classic, you know, department store perfume. So you're gonna get heaps of like a floral component that's coming from, I guess, presumably the peony, and then the oak wood is gonna give you that sort of like the base notes that you would get in a perfume. But I mean, it smells like Forever Red always has. I think there's even like peach or something in this too. There's like a whole list of notes, like osmanthus or something like that. There's a whole lot of stuff in here. Like they really gave the note breakdown when it first came out. And so I feel like when Forever Red first came out, I remember the shower gel being super potent and really strong. I vividly remember interning at an advertising agency that year it came out. Yeah, or was it? Yeah, I think so. It was somewhere in that time frame. I was, interning at an advertising agency. And I remember this lady would put on Forever Red lotion all the time, and I would always compliment her on how good it smelled. It was just so strong and robust, and that was just a lotion that she was putting on. And so I remember the shower gel and all that being really potent and strong. You got really all the good layers in it. But then fast forward to the 2018 Black Friday release, which I don't have that shower gel with me because it's at my parents' house. And I remember that one being a lot more diluted and a little bit more like fruity sweet, and then not quite as like rich and deep as the original one was. I mean, this is a candle, so I can't really compare it apples to apples to whether or not this is the more luxurious 2012 version or the more watered down 2018 one. But I don't know, it smells close enough in character that I can't really quibble. I would have to just burn it and see how it blooms. So that was Forever Red right there. Super jazzed about it. And I think Forever Red also resurfaced again as a faceted release recently, right? For a holiday time? Yeah. So super jazzed to see that. Okay, cool. And I think You're the One is also returning. I did not pick it up because I still have the old one. Perhaps if it's available for $10.95, I might pick it up at that price point. But I was like, I'm not really chomping at the bit for that one like I am Forever Red, because I still have this one that I don't need to get it for $13.95. But You're the One is also returning. It's in slightly updated red packaging. Again, white birch, velvety rose, and a drop of strawberry nectar. Yeah, this is... You guys know I normally love everything that's like rose, but this is very old-fashioned rose for sure. Very like powdery and perfumey, almost like a bathroom like scented sachet or whatever, like those paper bathroom air freshener things. There's something very like old-fashioned about this. I mean, it's like strong and heavy, but it's just not something that I totally love, that I don't really know if I need to get a new one, an updated one, but I just wanted to pass along the information that I believe it's both Forever Red and You're the One that's coming out, and potentially both of those are coming out with some sale, potentially the 10.95 one. I don't really know. But yeah, so that was You're the One right there. So look forward to both of those. Fun that we're getting like a red duo for that. Okay, cool. Moving on, in the store, I finally got around to smelling all the new like room sprays or wallflower fragrances, and they were $3.50. So I was like, you know what? Let me just treat myself and pick up one of the new Wallflowers. They get you because it's like I hardly ever use Wallflowers. Like, girl, I don't want that VOC clogging up my nostrils and my lungs 24/7, right? And so I use Wallflowers sparingly. But sometimes when there's a new fragrance, I just kind of want to plug it in for a day or two, just so I can like study the fragrance and commit it to memory and call it a day. And so we got Iced Gingersnap right there. This one smelled amazing. If this was a candle, I would like snag it up in a moment. Fresh ginger, baked cookie dough, and vanilla glaze. Let us open it just so I can smell it. And let us hope it's not one of those. It's always the horror of when you open this and it's like the smushed wick that you get, and it's like, oh no, I gotta return this. Okay, let's see. No, it is not a smushed wick. It is nice and erect, as you can see right there. Oh my god, this is so good. Wow, how juicy. I mean, this is just like this awesome, reminds me of Homeworks' pumpkin gingerbread. Oh my god, literally like the best pumpkin like bread candle ever. It reminds me of that. Or even it reminds me of, didn't we have a pumpkin gingerbread from BBW one year and I really enjoyed it? Yeah. It reminds me of pumpkin gingerbread from back in the day. And so potentially either the BBW one or the Homeworks one. But wow, it's delicious. It almost has like this moist, like, it captures like that balance, even though it's a ginger snap, which is presumably be like a hard cookie. I don't know, there's something sort of bouncy and gooey moist about it that I really like. And because it's supposed to be iced or vanilla glaze, there is like a sweet confectionery to it that I like. I could almost even imagine like sometimes in those like vanilla glazes they put like a little bit of lemon zest or whatever to make it a little bit more zesty and bright. And I kind of get that in here as well, and I really enjoy it. Yeah, I'm excited to like plug this in and see how it goes. I'm a little bummed that's not out in a candle, but we will see. So Iced Gingersnap right there. As for the other ones, this Claus's cocktail was like a pomegranate citrus one, but if I had to guess, there was almost even a little bit of like a touch of like an evergreen or like a green like sprig note in there that made it a little bit more holiday, almost in like a juniper infused cocktail type of way. That was actually a little bit more nicer or elevated than I thought instead of just usual generic tropical cocktail fragrances. So there was that. Snowy Sleigh Ride, I think, was the one that was really like heavy on the spearmint and a very like remember there was that frosted spearmint candle or the fresh winter air type of candle where the spearmint, that minty coolness is really present, and more so emphasis on the spearmint than like the pine green fragrance. And I don't like when it's more emphasis on the spearmint and not enough green, so I didn't get that. Stockings by the Fireplace was more in the line of like it wasn't like smoky and like a traditional fireside or smoked vanilla type of way. It was more so like that like peppered plum desert sunset type of feel to it, that it was actually a little bit more different than I thought it would. That it wasn't bad, but I didn't need to pick it up. Was there anything else? I think there was maybe there was like a peppermint one, right? There was like some peppermint cotton candy thing or whatever. It just smelled like another take on twisted peppermint or like peppermint marshmallow, but not quite as juicy as peppermint marshmallow in that creamy vanilla type of way, that I didn't need that. And then I thought there's like a Cozy Christmas PJs or something, but I don't know if that's only in room spray because I don't remember sniffing a wallflower of it. But those were the new fragrances, and I was like, you know what, I hardly ever use Wallflowers. Let me just buy one and call it a day because they're $3.50, and that's what we did. So excited about that one. I think I prefer, at least on Cold Sniff, Iced Gingersnap way more than Gingerbread Bakery, which has more of the savory curry flavor to it that I don't love. So cool. Okay, moving on, I did a reward redemption for Perfect in Pink. I was like, you know what, I don't love the candle, but let me try the body care. I think Sarita was really raving about it. So I was like, let me give it a second try. So Perfect in Pink, it was like pink camellias, cherry, and almond cream or something. And so I did actually already use this in the shower last night. And I do have to say, I slightly prefer the body care more than the candle. The candle is a lot heavier on like the base notes of like the sort of woodsy, heavy, perfumey, like sort of like stuffy quality of Perfect in Pink, whereas the shower gel actually retains more of the top mid fruit notes of the cherry and the juiciness, and it's a lot more sweeter and lighthearted and juicy. I mean, it's pretty much the same fragrance, but a lot of times with the formats, there's a difference in like just the way you smell all the notes. And in this one, I get more of this like sweet, juicy, almost like a candied cherry brightness and zing to it that I enjoy because it takes a little bit of the edge off of that really heavy, like perfumey intensity that the candle has that gets a little bit like suffocating, honestly, at sometimes. So yeah, not my favorite fragrance by any means, but it is what it is. So Perfect in Pink right there. It was plenty potent and I could smell it afterwards on my skin after the shower. So that was cool. Okay, moving on. Spoiler alert, Vanilla Bean Noel was still totally and completely unscented this year. I burned it 3 times and I took it right back to the store. Much grief over that exchange because they didn't really know what they were doing. But long story short, I did exchange Vanilla Bean Noel and exchanged it for a Gingham Glow. And so a little late or off season on this one, but I actually really enjoy this fragrance. I have the Wallflower. I have the Pocket Back and the shower gel, super strong, super potent, and it's like a beautiful one of those solar floral candles that back in the day we never really used to get too much outside of suntan, but now we get them all the time. And this just got kind of like lost in the shuffle with the fall releases, and there was just a lot of stuff going on. I think like maybe Bridgerton was out there, maybe not, I don't know. But it just got lost in the shuffle between whatever the other releases that were bookending it. That I was like, you know what, if I come across this one again, I wouldn't mind having just one backup so I can burn the one that I have now and then just have this now because I don't know if this will ever come back out again. Golden Nectar, Marigold Petals, and Sun-Soaked Sandalwood. Gorgeous, beautiful scent. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, very much that sort of high-end orange blossom neroli type of fragrance. Solar floral for sure. Gorgeous. So I'm actually super happy to have this one. So Gingham Glow right there. They're quite hard to come by, and so I was like, you know what? If I see one this late into the season, I'll get it, and that was literally the last one in that store. So that was that. And then lastly, let's see, I was in a city that had a Nordstrom rack, and Nordstrom rack used to have Homeworks candles and Nest candles. I didn't see any Homeworks whatsoever, but I did see Nest candles. And I get Nest very sparingly. They're not my favorite brand, but they do have nice fragrances, I do have to say. Hit or miss with the 3-wick performance. The 3-wicks usually dud out and get super black and sooty and murky mid-range. They utilize a very, very soft paraffin wax. Very much paraffin wax. If you read their FAQs on their website, I think it says they use like a paraffin wax formula. And back in the day, it used to say like cosmetic grade paraffin or something like that, but it's like a very soft paraffin is what Nest uses. And so we have Spiced Orange and Clove, which is like a new release. So this has been out in different formats. I think they'd had it on their website once before, and then it became like a store exclusive or something. And then now they're pouring it for Nordstrom rack. And I was like, you know what? I think this comes highly regarded on the internet. So let me try it and see how it does. So let's see. It was $27.97. Does it have a pour date on it? I'm not sure. The aroma of an orange pomander is blended with the essence of spiced brandy, saigon cinnamon, hints of star anise, and gingered honey. Okay. Let's see. Pour date of 24/183. So is that 2024? I'm not sure how their batch codes work, but in any case, here we are. I have burned it once, actually, I think twice already. Yeah, I burned it twice. Sometimes these do use at your own discretion or your own warning to use illumilids on these, because illumilids are technically only meant for long neck, single wick, Yankee Candle large jars and potentially medium jars. But on these like luxury candles, I'll still like gently like just place them on the top to help them pull out faster, because single wick luxury candles usually need a lot of help in terms of pulling out that very first time. So I did use an illumilid on it, and here we are. And Yeah, I do have to say this is really not all that different from like the winter fragrance from Bath and Body Works, which admittedly is not my favorite fragrance. But on Cold, there was like a very juicy and realistic sort of like mandarin orange, almost like a clementine type of feel to it. That I was like, you know what? I've heard so much about this. Let me just try it and just nip it in the bud and just like try it for myself. And I do have to say I'm not super enthused with it. The throw on it wasn't super strong at all, at least in the first 2 burns in my bedroom. And it really is not too far off from like your winter fragrance, or we had like a citrus and spice fragrance once before as well. It's just kind of another, I don't want to say generic, but another run-of-the-mill traditional orange pomander spiced orange fragrance for the holiday time. That I'm just kind of all right with it. Yeah, I just feel like sometimes Nest, they do have really nice fragrances here and there, but some fragrances really are just, you can find a much more affordable equivalent on the market. For instance, pumpkin chai is like so immensely close to pumpkin carving pumpkin patch from Bath and Body Works that it's almost like, why am I even spending the money on pumpkin chai other than it just being a brand, you know, status thing. And this very much seems like I could just very much get a similar experience for much cheaper and probably more throw at Bath and Body Works buying winter or one of their orange pomander fragrances they put out. We had Spice Citrus Grove last year too. Yeah, kind of similar. So yeah, nothing to write home about here, but I just really wanted to try and see how it does. So we have that there. Yeah, and I think that is pretty much it. Let me know your thoughts on if you're excited for Forever Red. If you've tried any of the new Wallflower Room Spray exclusive fragrances from BBW, let me know all about that down below. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.